Hey, water lilies. I'm coming to you yet again. Let me know when y'all get tired of me. I'm out here looking for me a really nice place to have a seat. And, ooh, a funeral. I don't want to get that on. That's first funeral I think I've seen in Arusha. But anyway, I'm walking by this little nursery. And I'm looking for a place to sit down and record my video. And I think over here is a little bus stop. And the seats look full. So, I think there might be some seats on the other side. And I'll sit down over there and give you today's hot topic. Moving abroad with very little money. Stay tuned. Okay, so normally when I walk through here, excuse me, there's very little people sitting here. So only thing that's left is the crappy seats. And yeah, I don't understand why it's so full. Maybe, just maybe, I should have brought a seat, or maybe somebody will leave really soon. Like, look at that. I'm definitely not sitting on that. And then they've got their little checker game made from bottle tops. Pretty cool. Alrighty, water lily. So here we are. I'm out here. I guess it's like a little bus stop. And I just like the surroundings. So I'm going to record here, and it'll probably be really, really quick. Because, yeah, one, I'm standing up. Two, it's kind of busy with the dollars. And as you can see, yeah, that's what they do. They blow the freaking horn, like the level. Uh-oh. I think a seat just came open. And yeah, let's go there. All right, yes, so now we can record. All right, well, I got me a seat, and so today's subject is, can you move abroad with very little money? So let's just dive right into it. And first, I can only tell you what I went through and what I did. And I told you in my previous video about how I saved the money to move in 2 months. Everybody doesn't have it like that. You may have children, small children, or whatever. You have all sorts of things. So let's really just go over some things that you can do to start saving your money to move abroad. And first and foremost, let me just say, today is the first day of the rest of your life, so start saving today. Whether you're putting it in a mattress, in a jar, in a bank account, stocks, or whatever, something that can produce like fairly quick. You make a time frame, you set a budget. First of all, I had gave up living in a house or apartment a few years before I moved, because the whole point was to save as much money as I could to do something. Well, what ended up happening was that money that I saved in rent and utilities and XYZ, I spent it shopping. So it wasn't bottom line efficient for me. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go shop. First of all, nextly, you decide, where is it that you want to go? Are you going to Africa? Are you going to Asia? Europe? Where is it that you're going? And then compare like the cost of living. Because not for nothing, y'all, the UK and the US is expensive. It's just, it is what it is. And runner-up next is probably South Africa, because, they want to be westernized. And so the cost of living there is no cheaper. So my one of my main purposes for moving abroad is to save money, to live cheaper, like not live paycheck to paycheck. Yep, I said it. Prior to those 2 months, I was living paycheck to paycheck because I liked to shop. And we just have to be honest with ourselves. Why are we living paycheck to paycheck? Because in the land of plenty, you spend plenty. You want this and you want that, and you want X, Y, and Z. Let me just state for the record that when it all came to a head and I had to clean out my storage unit at the peak of the pandemic, so there was no like Goodwill, Salvation Army, they weren't taking anything. I gave away what I could give away to people, and basically a 10 by 10 storage unit full of stuff went into the trash dumpster. I'm talking whatever you could think of. It went into the dumpster. And so if you give yourself enough time, and maybe you say 6 months or a year, you can take all your excess clothing, household goods, things like that, and put them in a consignment shop. Let the consignment shop sell them for you, and that could be some extra money. I did not have that option because I left in November of 2020. People were on shutdown, lockdown, and Tanzania was one of the only countries that you can get into. They weren't locked down, they weren't requiring, well, this was before even most of the requirements came out. My airplane ride was basically empty out of the United States into my first layover, my only layover, which was in Qatar, Doha, Qatar. We basically could sit wherever we wanted to, with so few people on the airplane that they made us all sit in the back for takeoff, and then after that they said you can sit wherever you wanted to. And basically we each had a row to ourselves. So, you know, there are places that you can go and that are not, you know, banning people from travel or whatever. Another video for another day. So like I was saying, consign your stuff if you can. You know, we, the people of the Americas, we live with excess. Excess everything. We have 10 pair of shoes, 60 shirts, 100 skirts. You know, you can only wear one at a time unless you layer up. You know, you're trying to hide something and you layer up. So try that. That's extra money. Put a certain amount of money, if you get paid every week, every 2 weeks, whatever, put some money to the side. Don't touch it. Like I said before, it is how bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to really not touch that? And then say, oh, let me give up this, let me give up that. At that point, I had quit smoking. I hadn't smoked a cigarette since like 2019. So cigarettes had got up to about $6 or $7 a pack. And if you factor in, I was smoking maybe 1/2 to a pack a day. So let's just say a pack a day, 7 days a week. That's over $40. So that's $40 in a saving. You're not going to miss it because you had already been spending it on cigarettes, case of beer, whatever your vice is for the week. When you get paid, what's something that you can go without, that you go buy every payday? Put that money to the side. Also, think of something that you can do. Like some of you all work in offices, you work in different settings. See if you can transfer that job over to a remote job where you work offline, off the internet. And if not that one, try to find one that you can work before you move. And the thing with that is, like I said, make sure it's a remote job that you can work from anywhere. And my advice for getting it before you leave is because if you move to a foreign country, like for instance here in Tanzania, I moved here, I kept my American phone for maybe a month or so, and then I got a local SIM card. Once you get that local SIM card and get rid of your US phone number, here in particular, it blocked out a lot of websites. So those things that they were like, oh, work offline by watching YouTube videos or doing this and doing that, once you get rid of your US SIM card, most of those sites are blocked or tell you, they can't work with you from your particular country, or they may have a list of countries that you can work from and make this, what do they call it, passive income, just, some added extra. Digital nomads, that's their main source of income. So can you teach somebody to do what you do online? Start planning now. The time is now. So if you say in 6 months or in 12 months, I'm going to move, hopefully you'll be ready. How I did it, like I said, saved up for 2 months. I saved up enough money to get out of the United States and to survive for what I thought would be a year with that money. Well, it didn't work that way because, yes, things don't cost what they cost in the United States. They may even be a little bit cheaper. We're filling up again. And they're staring, so let them stare. It's like going in the dollar store. You go in the dollar store with $50, but your goal is to only spend $5, and then you come out of the dollar store, you done spent $55. So it's the same thing here. Like, so this only costs this only costs that. Some of the things that I learned being here is, how in the U.S. we may go shop for groceries for maybe 2 weeks. Some of y'all shop for the month, some shop for 2 weeks, some shop for the week. Here you can't do that because it's hot. It's like not sealed up like our stuff. So your food goes bad. There's no additives, no preservatives, no wax on the fruit. It's all natural. So the things tend to go bad. So you learn how to buy just what you need. If you don't know how to do it before you leave, you will surely learn it here. Just get what you need. And quite honestly, I was feeling so bad about all the stuff I had to throw away. That was a life lesson for me. So I definitely just live off of what I need. Clothes. You won't be wearing all them excess clothes here. You won't be wearing a bunch of junk because, for one, in places like here, it's a little warm. So you want to be comfortable, and you might get a favorite t-shirt and a favorite pair of jeans for the guys, shorts. Not really recommended for women to be walking around in shorts in this particular country, but they know who the foreigners are because they do it. Also, after I had been here for maybe 4 months, 3 or 4 months, I was advised to try to get an online tutoring job. If you speak good English, all you have to be is a native English speaker. You don't need to have a degree. You don't even need the little TEFL certification, which will be my next statement. I'll tell you about that. And it gives you pretty good money. It's like, how hard do you want to work? So I did that, and I started putting a little change in my pocket. And okay, y'all, so I just sat here and did all that freaking talking, and it wasn't recording. For whatever reason, my camera has stopped. So I was telling you about TEFL certification, tutoring online, tutoring English online. I did get had. I signed up for a TEFL course, certification course, and it just wasn't legitimate. It looked pretty. It looked like it was. It was reasonably priced, and I got a discount, and it was even cheaper. And just come to find out, it was a fraud. I knew once they weren't reaching out to me when I started taking a break that something was wrong. And so upon further investigation, all the awards and accolades that they said they had were pretty much made up, because that's the only place that I found those particular awards was on their website. So just make sure that you get a legitimate TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language course, if that's the route you choose to take. And make sure that if it is legitimate and it's cheap, make sure you know all the ins and outs. Because like I said, as I was, I think, recording, and it wasn't recording, that there was a very reasonably priced one, like $20, but it was exclusively for Vietnam. I don't want to go to Vietnam. Okay, so that is that. Basically, what was I thinking when I moved here with what some people would call very little money? First of all, let me state that if you come over to most of these foreign countries with more than 10,000 US dollars, you're supposed to claim it at customs so they can get their little chunk off the top of it. And yeah, I ain't with that either. I'm feeling some kind of way about life. Like, I'm not contributing to your corrupt government. I'm not anti-government at this point, but needless to say, I came with what I had, which was less than $10,000, and I had calculated and recalculated that if I live off of this much money per month, that money could have lasted me for 12 months. It did not, because it's like I said, going into the dollar store with $50 and you only plan to spend $55, and then when you come out of the dollar store, you done spent $55, okay? So it's the same concept here. If you don't have a huge saving, like I said, today is the day. You start today and start putting away what you can. You start selling what you can. Start making away. Start making your budget. What is your budget? What can you survive on until you can find something? If you are still working age, basically, I gear my stuff towards the people that are a little bit older, that have retired. There may be people that are on disability checks and, have a set income that's coming in that you know that you will be getting. Base your stuff off of maybe half of what you're bringing in. So if you're bringing in $1,000, base your stuff off of $500, because you will need incidentals. You will need things, groceries, utilities. Here, you pay your rent in advance. So you pay 3, 6, 12 months in advance. And it's almost the same as what most people are paying for 1 month. So that's something to take into consideration. Do your research. Don't let people scare you into stuff. A lot of videos want to scare you into this and scare you into that and tell you you're not worthy of moving abroad. Like I said, it's sheer determination. Are you determined to live abroad, or do you want to come over here and floss in front? Me, I was determined. I know how to be a minimalist and live minimally. For a while, I did have some people helping me off of donations from the YouTube channel. I even offered up a consultation service because people were asking questions. And I was like, okay, it's getting a little overbearing, so let me try to make a couple of dollars off of it. But then when that happens, you ask for this amount, they give you a little bit extra, and then they think they can control your time and your life, because I didn't put a time stipulation on what the donation was. I was like, just ask me a question, whatever. But then it just got to the point where it was overwhelming. People are shitty at best, and I cut that out. No more. If you want a consultation, go find somebody else, because I can't help you. Because for one, I don't like when people don't listen. And then you don't listen, and then you get into a pickle, and then you want a shoulder to cry on. Yeah, not on my watch. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. I told you I was immature. So anyway, I came over here for peace of mind and to be stress-free. So I can't very well get rid of my own stress and then take yours on. It doesn't work very well for me. So another thing that you can try to do is maybe talk to your friends and family. Do you have kids? Do you not have kids? Do you have a spouse? Start downsizing immediately and speak with maybe some, backing up, I don't trust them, friends and family, and see if y'all all can live together in one place, split the cost, and save your money. I believe we as African Americans are the only people that don't know how to stockpile on top of each other and save our money. We want our own space. We can't stand Fannie Mae. We can't stand Robert Lee. And we don't want to live together. And then if, you know, it's like the crabs in a barrel syndrome. We're trying to save money and you worried about how much the next person is saving, or did they shortchange you, or this, that, and the other. Set up the parameters before you move in together. This is how much we are contributing to the household. This is what's going to maintain the household. And then you don't worry about whatever else I have. Okay? We worrying about enough to share costs to maintain the household so that you can save as much money as possible so that you can move abroad. Put your feelings to the side and do what you have to do to save you some cheddar guac. Real simple. Nextly, you know, what are you willing to sacrifice? What is it that, do you go to the store every week and buy a shirt? Do you go buy cakes and cookies and all that stuff? You stockpile your pantry, look like the local Salvation Army because you got so much food in there, food that's been in there for months and months and months that you've never even touched. Cut down on that grocery bill. Cut down on it, because when you get over here, I'm telling you, quite the opposite. Junk food is mad expensive, so you might as well break that habit right now. Like, I think a small pack of Oreo cookies cost about $13 over here. Yeah, no more Oreo cookies for me. Yeah. So, let me see. Your phone bill, can you get that down to a minimum? Can you cut off all that excess stuff? Like if you have one of those good, what is that, like Metro PCS or something, where they say like $50, period. And you have unlimited this and unlimited that. Instead of paying $300 a month to the heavy hitters, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, like me, paying all that money to a phone company, when you can go downsize, take your number, and go get some like little cheapo depot phone service to cut costs. You cut costs there, especially if, you know, most people just use their phones for like Facebook and stuff like that. Talking over here, you have to buy everything individual. You can buy talk and text time, you can buy international minutes, you can buy data. I only buy data because who am I talking to over here? If they want to talk, they can call me, sending me text messages or whatever. I use mostly Messenger and WhatsApp. And that's basically how I deal with being away. I still talk to my people. I talk to my sister every day on Messenger. I talk to friends on WhatsApp. So it's just like being at home. I don't miss y'all. I talk to y'all almost every day. So that's something you can cut back on. Those humongous, ridiculous, overly expensive cell phone plans. Okay, water lilies, what has happened is I recorded like 2 or 3 times, and I guess once it gets to 10 minutes for some reason, I think in high definition, it cuts off my video. So I am headed back home, and I will finish the rest of this video when I get home. For one, you know, people are like, oh, look at, she's recording. They all just staring. Bless their hearts. Do I look that weird? So anyway, so I just wanted to say that right here because I'm in front of this. Look at all the papaya on that tree. I hope you can see it. So yeah. Doo, doo, doo. All right, so when I get home, I'll finish this video up. Okay, because I was recording in high definition, it was cutting off like every 10 minutes. So, all right. Hopefully you can see me good here because I'm also using the backside so I won't be staring at myself and looking in the wrong place. Work with me here. I'm trying to get better. Okay, so we talked about cutting down the cost on the cell phone. The next cost is the cable bill. Oh my gosh. Cable, satellite, whatever you have, get the basics. Do you really need to watch those TV shows that bad? Because guess what? Once you go overseas, you're not going to see them anyway. Unless you do the Hulu and Netflix, got a smart TV and all that excess. Cut that cable bill down. Now, really, by cutting down the cable bill to basic and your cell phone down to a minimum package, I promise you probably can save about $300 or $400 right there, because the amount of money that people spend on cable and cell phones is ridiculous. I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in years, but I did have a very hefty cell phone bill. I'm talking a few $100s. So, they get you to add this line, and it's only going to cost you this much more for your package. And then that adds up and that adds up. And next thing you know, you're looking at a couple of $100s for a phone bill. Like I said, get with you some Boost, T-Mobile, cut it down to $50 a month. That's between $150 and $250 right there. Cable bill, cut it down to basic cable. Matter of fact, cut all that crap off and just get a regular antenna. Do you really need to watch TV that much? So I bet you, if most of y'all got rid of y'all cable bills or satellite bills, you probably could save another $200 a month. That right there is approximately $200 to $500 a month in savings alone. I know how we do it, and I know how much it costs. It keeps going up and up and up and up, and it's not getting any better. It's rotting your brain. Okay, and I talked about living together with family members. Also, it's just, what are you willing to sacrifice? These are some things that you can do if you do not have a huge savings account in place. One of the things that I did was, when the stock market started just plummeting, I started buying up a bunch of stocks and was still saving money. And then after things kind of cooled off, they started to come back to where they were before they plummeted, which was a good thing. That was some added extra as well. Hold on to them as long as you can. So, let's see. Oh, one of the most important things, if you have children, is there someone there? Can you homeschool? I believe Simone Alana, she homeschools her children, and I have to check to see if she has some of those homeschool videos up on her site to help you out and give you some advice and some pointers. She has some really good food haul videos. She's in the UK, so she's feeding a family of 5. And she saves a lot of money on her food hauls every week for a family of 5. And she does her meal preps. So any of that can help you out. She has some really good pointers. And you can see the tag here, and go check out her channel and subscribe to her channel and get some good pointers on how to curb some of those costs for food and homeschooling. Because if you homeschool, I don't have children, but if you homeschool, some of the things you can cut down on: school uniforms, school clothing, lunch money, all the added stuff that you have, and you can give your children a custom education, probably more than what the school systems is actually telling them. So, that's a whole nother story or whatever. So those are some things that can help you cut costs to get your move on. And like I said, let's say, for instance, if you have the discipline and you cut that phone bill down from $300 to $50, that's $250 right there a month. Get rid of the cable bill altogether. Let's just say another $150. That is $400 a month to set aside. In 12 months, that's almost $5,000, $4,800 to be exact. and then throw in a little added extra, you know, maybe $50 a payday, or let me say that $50 a month to add to that. $50, 12 months. That's another what? $600? Yeah. 5,600. And then everybody say, okay, this last check is going with me. Save up a couple of the last checks when you cut these costs. I would say safely that you can come, if you are working class with maybe $6,000 to $10,000, get your, you know, if you want to start a business or get a job wherever you're going, get your work permits and all that stuff to bring in some income, that's doable. Do you have an Etsy shop? Do you sell stuff online? That's some income that'll still be coming in. You make sure you maintain things like PayPal. Once you get a local number, you cannot use Cash App and stuff like that. So to me, the most, and I have no sponsors, PayPal is still the best bet because I can get paid from things in the US and do what I need to do with PayPal. So if you get a retirement pension, Social Security, disability check, things like that, like I said, try to cut that in half and say that's my working budget. Even maybe 75% is my working budget, because once you cover the rent, overhead for rent and stuff like that, I will give you a breakdown of how I budgeted, thought I budgeted. Well, I did budget for it. It just turns out that I spent a little more than I should. And so budget went, live and learn. I know now, woo woo. But yeah, say for instance, you'd say, okay, I can afford to pay $200 a month. Yes, I said $200. $200 a month for rent. If it's a decent place, because I don't advise paying for 1 month's rent up front on a place you're not sure if you're gonna lie. Try to work with them and see if they'll give you a 3-month lease to see if you're gonna like it. Also, when they tell you, oh, this is, I'm just using US dollars here, this house is $300 a month. Say, hey, can I give you 2? You know, I can only work with 2. Don't forget to haggle on those house costs. You know, we are so bent on going to the market and haggling, but then when it comes to renting a place in these apartments and houses and stuff like that, we don't want to negotiate the price. Try to get them to come down off of that price. That's saving you that much more money. So once you do that, your overhead for that is done. That's your rent is paid. So now you want to say, make sure you save some to the side to renew in a year, in the event that things happen or whatever. You factor all that stuff in, and it's doable. Probably, like I said, the most expensive thing that you will spend money on going abroad is firstly your airplane ticket, and then nextly paying for rent for 3 to 12 months. I would say, and just go from my mistakes. I did 3 months in Zanzibar, and I was ready to go. I did 7 months in my first house in Dar es Salaam, and I was ready to go. And I don't know what I was smoking to do a 12-month lease on this house, because I'm paid through July and I am ready to go. Now, granted, I did a video on house hunting and how much my house costs. You can click that tag there and it will tell you housing cost. I'm by myself, so I really still was overkill because, okay, let me finish this up because I don't know my phone and my video is hating on me. Ta-da. Okay, so I was saying the overkill was, I'm in a 2-bedroom house. It's just me. I was thinking like, oh yeah, somebody's gonna come and visit and blah, blah, blah. No one has showed up, so we're gonna downsize that all the way to a 1-bedroom or a studio. All I need is my bed and my work table. That is it. So that's another way that I plan to cut costs. Plus, I have some other things lined up. You will get into the hustle mentality eventually, whether it takes you right off the rip, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. It took me a minute to get to the point where I can maintain myself here. So I hope all of that helped you out. That's just some pointers from my personal experience and some pointers which I thought were good ideas and how to save money. My focus is exclusively on people that have a very small budget. You have a small budget, so do I. I understand. I feel your pain. I'm not trying to make you feel like you're less than the next person that's got a whole bunch of money, because money is money. You got some got small, some got big, and I got small. And I'm maintaining. I have been here for over a year, okay? It is doable. What is your motivation? Your determination? If you are determined, if you are motivated, you can do it. I will be your biggest cheerleader. So, like I said, I hope this information helped you out. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment and tell me where you're watching from. Hit the like button. My returning water lilies, thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your support and hanging in there with me. It's up from here. We going up. Things are about to get better. By golly, I think I've got it. So I appreciate you all, each and every one of you. Don't forget to tell a friend, and share, share, share. Have them come check it out. See if they like it. All right? All right. Mwah.